We're here with Hassan, my partner in crime, my right hand. He is helping me streaming. For those of you who don't know me, I have specialists to help me with this. In any case, hi, this is Lauren Dolgero, aka the Solutionist. I help people to restore, to remaster, and rebuild their consumer profiles so that they can have rockstar credit and access to cash, access to options, and never be denied again. I wanted to come on very briefly with Hassan today to deliver some amazing news. You know, it hasn't happened in the past that there's been a masterclass available that you can learn the steps, learn the process, learn everything there is about restoring your own credit, because nobody wants to be a victim to anyone, least of all credit repair. And to my credit repair friends out there, I love you, but we've got to start teaching consumers how to do this by themselves so that they can take back their own profiles, so that they can take back their rights, their constitutional rights that were afforded to them. So in any case, love you. But
Can I ask you a question, please?
I'm sorry, Hassan?
Well, Naim Hassan is watching us. Can I ask you a question, please?
Sure.
Like, from which people you're targeting? If you can just tell us something more a bit about your, upcoming programs and the strategies that you're following, and you're just trying to target some people, right? So I'd love to know the target people for
funny
your
thing. That's the funny thing about credit, right? Credit extends to everybody and every individual. And for those business owners out there, business owners as well, a lot of business owners aren't aware that you can have pure business credit to which you don't have to be a guarantor. So you don't have to put your home, your family at risk to grow your business, to capitalize your business. So not only am I a consumer advocate as an individual respect, but also as a business respect, because so many of us business owners, even myself years ago, you don't know that you can have pure business credit without having to put your name, your family, your house, your car, your paycheck on the line. So everybody, I love the comments. Keep sending in the comments. But there is a difference between personal and business credit. So not only am I an advocate to consumers like yourself, but also everybody who owns a business. I help you to create that separation so that you can have personal credit, rockstar personal credit, and a fundable business credit so you can capitalize your business and grow your business. A lot of folks don't know that 95% of businesses will fail in the first 5 years, generally due to undercapitalization or mismanagement, but generally undercapitalization. So this means that people are bringing their own funds to business and they don't have enough of it to grow and have a successful business. So not only do we work with consumers to create those rockstar profiles so that they have banks banging on their door for their business, so that they never again have to hear from a debt collector or overpay for an interest rate, but they're getting the approvals for the cash when they want it, for how much they want, and they're getting the most advantageous terms. It's sad and it's unfortunate that so often folks really truly believe that if you have bad credit, that's the end of it. You have to have a waiting game. That's not the case. That's not the case. When you know who you are as a consumer and where your rights and your power come from and how to rebuild your consumer profile, you don't have to suffer at the hand of credit repair, banks, debt collectors, debt consolidation. All of this goes out the window and it's a moot point. So what I really wanted to bring to y'all's attention today was a brand new class. We have an inaugural class rolling out, and I created it because we have so many questions.
I'm coming to that point, but before that, I do love to know more about your plans and the work. And as we know, in almost every country in the world, the education system they do have existed in their corners. People are not that much aware of their credit and using their balances, and they are not financially literated, should I say, right? So from that perspective, what is your main goal to reach more people, if you want to share?
Credit is not an American phenomenon. Credit is nothing more than the proper use of debt to acquire goods, services, or an experience without paying for it first. We consider this credit, but really it's the use of debt. And we teach people how to use debt to their advantage so they're not falling victim to paying the high APR rates, to having terms that definitely benefit the lender, but they don't have a whole lot to or anything to do with benefiting a consumer.
Right. So, do you have anything to say? Like, most of the cases, there are very few people. They do need to trust someone. There is a crisis for trusty people, or I
Yeah.
should say. So, if you get my point, like from their perspective, to remove or to eradicate any call, what is your point of your, accuracy or receptivity? How do you say? Do you get my question?
Trust is it's not just a credit thing. It's not just a financial issue. Trust and the lack of trust stems even into our personal relationships. Myself personally, I tend to trust and hear more the experiences of somebody else who's been through the same thing. And as I teach as a consumer advocate, poor credit, not able to separate, or they don't know how to separate business and personal credit, or they've got more than $10,000 in revolving debt and they're considering bankruptcy. I've been in these shoes. I've been in them and they hurt. They were not comfortable. And I was blessed that I had a specialized education where I learned insider knowledge to completely restore and rebuild my profile at will. And that at will portion of it means you don't have to wait that timeline, the one they said 7 years for an account or 2 years for inquiries. It's not a matter of waiting about timelines. It's a matter of legal process. So when you know what the true process is, you can really take back your consumer power in a way that you never thought was possible. It's magical, and it opens up doors, and it creates a situation that not only can you have amazing credit, but you can get approved for the cash that you need. Your family can grow at the time you're ready to grow for the reason you want to grow. And that's really transcendent. It's magical for families, because how many families do we know out there who say, we want to buy a house, but I have a collections account and it's not going to fall off for another 3 years. So I guess I have to wait 3 years to buy a house. That's not the
With that,
case.
I understand. With that note, I would love to ask you something more. I'm just taking a short leave, and I need your 2 minute speech. You know, you do have experience, and I should say I must work. I've been working with you for months, and I have learned a lot from you. And this is really I should say, the greatest opportunity in my life, that I have been able to work with you, such a client,
Mhm.
like you're an advocate. But the trust me, the thing is that I would love to receive a 1 minute or 2 minutes speech from you, that from your experience, that you will share something dealing with clients, and the average ages, and the experience that you have gathered. People who just feel the call to whether they are in dilemma in such circumstances, like whether you are the perfect one, whether should I should they are thinking like that way. So if you get my point, I'd love to learn something more about your experiences for only 1 or 2 minutes, and I'm coming back to you soon. Okay?
So I'm going to speak on a topic which, statistically speaking, about 50% of us have experience in this. I'm going to call it the magical D word, divorce. Prior to my divorce, my credit was fabulous. I had spent years building it, creating the background, adding accounts. And the day after my divorce, I went from a 780 credit score, and overnight it went to 496. Overnight. And I started calling the creditors, and the different agencies, the insurance agency, that was a whole nother story. When you guys talk to me personally, ask me about the insurance story the day after my divorce. That was special. But what we don't realize that when we filed for divorce, a lot of times those things, they're marked off in the credit reporting agencies, the third party aggregates. And previously, where we were rated married and we showed that we had two incomes, there was two people in the household, which showed stability. But as soon as a divorce is filed in a municipal court or a state court, they automatically reflect that now you're single. So obviously you're not stable anymore, right? That was the biggest heartache in my own story, was to work so hard to create a stable environment, to have awesome credit, to be able to be approved for anything, to buy anything. And then overnight, just due to a piece of paper, which I signed digitally, my credit rating went through the floor. And all of a sudden, my creditors were closing my accounts that had never been late. I had never overused the account beyond, the recommended utilization. But overnight, they were lowering my limits. They were closing my accounts, all because a credit reporting agency somewhere, some way, because they didn't disclose that to me, filed that I had been through a divorce. And if you know the insurance rating system, this automatically puts you into a category of, oh, well, you're not married anymore, you're not stable. But for those of us who have been through a divorce and we live in these times, we know this isn't the case. Just because we go through a divorce doesn't mean that overnight we become unstable. Overnight we become these useless people. It's just a change in an M to a D or an S. And that wasn't fair. So I went out of my way to obtain a specialized education to learn how to overcome it, to rebuild it, and to put it behind me.
Okay, great, awesome. We'll learn more about it on our strategic classes and upcoming programs as well. And this is our first time experience. And how do you feel now? Now we can discuss something, beyond the topic. And how do you feel now after having a quick, live and session?
I love the lives, and I'm kind of excited that I get to stream on more than one. So thank you guys for joining me. And as always, if you have questions or, concerns about your own status, I understand, finance and credit really isn't table talk yet. One day it will be, promise. But ask the question, because you are not the only one going through it. I promise you're not the only one with the question. But without answering the question, we can't help you move to the next step. So feel free to DM, send an email. There's a text number that's on all of my profiles. Make sure that you check out my bio link.
And it would be appreciated if they also share our live session and the program or anything else.
Yes, share it, because the real truth is that they don't want you to know this information. Banks, creditors, credit repairs, debt consolidation companies, all of these entities, they don't want you to know how to rebuild your own credit. It doesn't benefit them. If you don't know how to rebuild your own credit, then you stay in their cycle. You stay their victim. You stay their client, and you have to pay over and over and over anytime something happens. It's time that you take back your own consumer power, your own consumer rights, and get the steps, get the process, get the action steps and the knowledge, so that you never have to be asking the question, how do you do? Why do you do? Can you do? Because you already know how to do it. And that's really what that's really why I'm so excited. So we've spent so long developing this masterclass for you guys, so that you can learn how to rebuild and restore your consumer profiles afresh. So if you're experiencing high revolving debt. If you're experiencing, you're getting denied and you don't know why you're getting denied because they don't tell you. If you're
Okay, we
experiencing
will.
that you
We will.
can't
I
afford
will
credit,
stop here. I will stop here. I will stop you here. Like we do not have that much time, enough time to discuss more in detail.
ah,
And I would love to, encourage more people to watch it, to spread it, and be a reason of our help. Any kind of assistance will be appreciated, and of course. Miss Lauren, I'm damn sure she is ready to help you to overcome, any circumstances and any specialties, any problem that you need solutions. She will be right beside you, right?
absolutely. That's why they call me the solutionist. I solve big problems. That's what I do.
Yeah, we love to do. We love to do. Do you have any final note for me as well, and for our people and the people who
Again, credit isn't
watch it
really
later?
an American phenomenon. It's global. There's different applications and there's different laws. But if you feel like you're experiencing too much debt and you just need to figure out how to get out of it, you're not getting approved for what you need, and you really want to take back your own power, make sure that you're enrolling in the brand new 6-week masterclass that we've rolled out for you. It's called How to Have Rockstar Credit. It's a 6-week masterclass, and we go over everything: the process, the action steps, the how-tos, and the why-tos. That way you really have a full understanding, overstanding, if you know me personally, overstanding on how it works and why it works. And you're really going to see just a change faster than you thought possible, and you're doing it yourself. It's not difficult. It's just a process. It's A plus B plus C, and we go through step by step, and we teach you all of it. That way you are completely prepared to move forward and get approved, to have access to cash, have access to options, to grow your family, to help your family. So make sure that you check out that link. Go to rockstarcreditmastery.com or totalsolutiontrust.com and schedule that registration session, because
We will.
seating is very
We will.
limited. It's a very intimate class, and you're going to want to make sure that you should secure one of those spots.
And of course, you'll find the links on our in the comment section, or you can. We just think we are an inbox away, nothing that much, and nothing else. And finally, from my people from my community also watching this, and it is really a pleasure to have these people, in our journey, and they will definitely be able to learn something more in our upcoming sessions. With that final note, thank you so much, and thank you, Lauren, for having for giving us time, and thank you. And we do have other members as well, and please do let them know. We are going to live more and more in our upcoming days. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to have different venues, different topics. Message me if you have anything that you'd like me to discuss in particular, and we can kind of review those topics so that you have more clarity and you can move forward yourself.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Hassan.